gamers all around the world. Today we have the long-awaited Holy Roman Empire updated Castle Rush guide. Now I do have older HRE guides. I do have the 2TC HRE guide, which is still viable on my YouTube channel, but we're going to be doing today the updated version, or just kind of, the last time I made HRE guide was a long ass time ago, so we're gonna do one now, how to Castle Rush into preferably fast Imperial. Let's get into it. I'm gonna show you guys two games. One game is when the opponent goes aggressive. One game is when the opponent goes 2TC. What do you do in that situation? Stuff like that. Now, I actually checked the win rates, and I asked Twitch chat, like, which matchup should I do? Like, which matchup is bad for HRE? And then some people said IUBID. I checked the stats, and apparently HRE doesn't have a good win rate against IUBID on the ladder. So I figured this is one of the good games to show. Now, there's two different games, like I said. One is when the opponent attacks and you need to make units. And then one is, and still Castle Rush. And then one is when opponent is just like letting you do whatever you want. So we're gonna start normal, 3-3, and then rally to food until the age up. We're gonna leave the three guys on the gold the whole time. And I'll kind of explain my thought process behind it. I have to take my Invisalign, I can't talk anymore. Alright. So the reason why I'm showing this matchup is the military wing opening into Desert Raiders harassing is pretty annoying to deal with, so I figured why not. So first things first, Chapel, you want to prioritize safety. Safety first. So if my gold and my wood, like this wood and stone is forward, I will probably still go Chapel in the back, okay? Very rarely you want to go Chapel in the front or in risky positions, only against more passive civs, like maybe China or, I don't know, what's a passive civ? Like Abbasid or something like that, you can do a forward Chapel. Against most other civs, you gotta put the Chapel in the back because your farms are later on going to be exposed. So this spawn is really good, obviously. It fits perfectly. We have berries, we got gold, we got wood, and we got TC. So this was a very nice spawn. So I do 4 on age up. Now make sure that when you're aging up, you don't age up with villagers from this side. Otherwise your prelate is going to inspire the villagers that are building, which won't do anything, right? The reason we're leaving the 3 guys on gold is because we don't want to move the villagers back and forth because it wastes gathering time, so just let them be. And then what I like to do is I like to leave 3 on food as I'm aging up. These guys, when they finish, they're going to go back on the food. And then I like to rally villagers onto the wood and try to chop the wood, the close wood around your TC. The reason for that is you kind of almost always want to do it. The reason why you almost always want to do it is you will either build a military production building to defend, a tower, or you are going to simply, you can just make farms with it, right? So instead of waiting for your opponent to be aggressive and then like, oh, I need wood, and you know, just chop the wood and you'll be good. So you can see how my prelate is positioned so that he inspires like here and not waste anything. Another thing is, I mean, I made a small mistake here, but you should chop the farther wood first and then leave the wood that's in the chapel range for later on. So I went for tower here. Now, the reason I went for tower on this side and not this side is very simple. This matchup, Desert Raiders, they don't have a lot of range, so even if I put tower here, it will still be able to shoot the enemy, like trying to harass. But putting it here protects my berries and protects woodline kind on this side. So I like it better a little bit here, so I cancel and I rebuild. And if you're playing against more aggressive, I definitely suggest you to build a tower, even if you plan on building a military building and then getting enough stone to upgrade it. So, as I'm aging up, we're done. Boom, boom, boom. The prelate goes inside. And now we're going to have 5 on gold. And we're going to rally onto the food. And I'm going to build stables. Now, aggressive civs are next. I'm gonna try to think, and I'm gonna try to name all of them, but English is an aggressive civ. Now, against English, what you can do is, instead of building stables, because they're gonna have spearmen, I would advise you to build one tower here, one tower here. So instead of building stable, you just add a second tower and upgrade both, and it will give you enough protection so you can safely age up. Against French, Rus, you know, any knight civ that you're playing against, I would suggest you to open barracks so you can have a tower plus few spearmen here in case they try to charge in and you know, kill your villagers. If you're playing against boom civs, that's going to be the second game that I'm going to show you. So that's kind of the rules and how it works. When is the match? 1 hour, Marika. Or 50 minutes. So, I'm getting the stone here. And why am I building stables, you might be wondering, against Desert Raiders? Because Desert Raiders counter cavalry. Well, you can't build spearmen because, you know, they're just going to switch their forms and attack you. But, interesting thing is Desert Raiders actually kind of get countered by horsemen. So they beat up knights pretty badly. And knights are also very expensive. But they trade pretty bad against horsemen. So, the reason for that why is the horsemen do 9 bonus damage against ranged, and Desert Raiders are counted as ranged units even if they're in their melee form. So you can see right here, I don't want to fight one-on-one necessarily, but the moment I have 2 horsemen, I can push this back. So what am I doing right now? I have 2 villagers on this wood. I'm still gonna chop all of them to be able to build houses, to be able to build horsemen. I'm mining 5 on gold. Everything else is on food. So the goal is to age up and build few horsemen to defend myself, because I also want to put counter pressure to the opponent and not just let him, you know, like build a tower here or harass me to oblivion. So you'll see how this works. Now he has to run. Now his second Desert Raider is gonna pop in a little bit, and then I have to run. So it's like a little dance, but it's keeping me protected, and it's keeping me, you know, free to age up. This horseman is a little dented. Now the good thing is you can actually heal up your units. So this is one really cool thing about HR to the E. So he's chasing this one. I go around to try to harass his goal because Ayubit also wants to go fast castle. And yeah, so now I'm going to go back home. Here I'm going to start a little harassment. He's going to build a tower, I think. Yeah. Just denying his gold, and suddenly I'm the aggressor. Now look how much damage the Desert Raider takes from the horseman. See that? So you basically want 2 horsemen for 1 Desert Raider. And he cannot heal his units, by the way. So now the one thing that you guys might not have known is when you put prelate inside the chapel, okay, all the villagers get the buff, right? Villager gather rate increased, yada yada. But if you take it out for a little bit and then put the prelate back in, you will not lose the buff on the villagers. They're still gonna pump, you know, pump the economy. So I take it out, I heal up my horsemen, I start the age up with about 6 to 8 villagers is fine. And then back into the chapel. Now I'm going to send another horseman back. Same thing. I'm going to go out, heal it up, back into the chapel. So, you can see right here, if you look, the villagers have villagers gathering rate increased 40%. So they all have the buff already. So I'm not losing anything by doing this. Now he's going to lose 1 Desert Raider. And this is the matchup where Ayubit can age up extremely quickly. But as you can see, because I made horsemen, we're aging up at the same time, which he should be aging up first in this matchup. Because Ayubit is crazy like that. So now what I like to do as I'm aging up, if I'm rushing castle super quickly, as I'm aging up, I like to get some of my eco upgrades. I like to get some of my like wood upgrades, specialized mining pick, wheelbarrow, and everything else. Now the reason for that is you don't want to fall behind in economy, and you need to get your eco going. Now, at this point, when you age up, depending how aggressive your opponent was, right? If they're making rams or something else, you might not be able to go out on the map and get food, like get berries here or get these deer or something. So what I would suggest is start rallying onto the wood line, and every time you have 75 wood, plop down a farm near the chapel, and it's going to give you a big boost. So right now, I'm trying to clear the relics. He's putting units next to the relics. I am basically escorting my prelates, making sure I get one by one. Another thing you can do is, if the opponent is not putting pressure on you, you can also build prelates from your town center as you're aging up, so that you can get as many relics as possible immediately. And since you have the stable already, you're going to start producing knights, and you're going to start harassing your opponent. Now, this is how you should play against any aggressive civ until this point. From here on out, there's multiple options that you can do, okay? You can throw down more barracks, you can throw down more stables, and then you can send a crap ton of villagers on food here, and then food here, and then go boar, and then food here, and just take the relics and basically spam units with food. You're not going to be getting any gold almost because you have regnets, and you're just going to be spamming units and try to kill your opponent. Number one. Number two is play a bit more passive, like start getting your upgrades, start getting your farms, and just kind of play middle of the road. Like, you kind of want to age up to Imperial, but you're kind of making units as well. A little bit of both. You're harassing, but you're, you know, you're still getting eco behind it and working towards Imperial. Or you can do the full Imperial rush, but you need to know how to do it. So the way you do it is you need to keep your opponent preoccupied as you're gathering resources to age up. So what I mean by that is, I cannot just sit in my base and then be like, okay, I need to wait for food to Imperial. You need to attack, you need to make your opponent, you know, have to make units to defend your units and not even think about attacking you, right? You want to be the one attacking. Remember, you can also heal the knights like this. You can pull them back and heal. So as I'm escorting units one by one, I'm getting wheelbarrow as well. I got my double broadaxe, specialized mining pick. Getting more prelates, and right now I have 2 relics. I'm building double barracks just in case if he commits to like camel lancers, so I have some spearmen. I don't want to, you know, YOLO and make no units. Even if you're trying to rush imp, you can't really do it with 0 units. You can, but you're probably gonna die sometimes, just straight up. Now I'm going to the 3rd relic. Gonna take that too. Boom. And right now with 3 relics and regnets, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Obviously you want to take 5 if possible, but taking 3 relics is really, really nice. So now what I do is I don't go back to defend, I go to attack, to harass. So I go to the food sources like these berries right here. I go in, and if you look behind, I'm getting some more eco upgrades. I'm getting veteran spearmen, and I'm going to get some spearmen to defend. But all the prelates that I've used to get relics, you can now use to collect the outside food, so that you can like basically vacuum this food super quickly, right? And if we look at right now, I'm almost at the age up mark. I have a lot of wood, so I can start making farms. And sometimes, by the way, when you run out of food like this, like I just did, so I have the option. Do I go into deer here and expose my units a lot because I saw he has a big army? Or do I just potentially buy food and age up? So this game, I decided to just age up and just buy food. I'm still harassing, and I'm going to see his units soon, so I'm going to be very happy about that. And the setup for going Imperial is happening now. So what I'm doing is building a tower. I'm going to build a tower here. I think I build a tower here or here, and then build a tower on the bottom. And these towers are in preparation for bombard upgrade. And the moment you get those towers, you want to put relics inside of them as well. You can see I'm already having 8 workers on stone with a prelate, so I can get that. And I'm getting a Swabia with 24 workers. So right now, I know what's going to happen. I know that he's going to attack me. I know he has no second TC. I know that he's going to try to end the game. So what I'm doing is basically putting him in a completely all-in position. By aging up with Palace of Swabia and having Bombard Towers, he has to like make rams. And if he doesn't win the game right then, he's going to lose. Because I have relics and I have Swabia that now prints workers. So, I'm making another tower here. and I'm just waiting for him to attack. I age up. I'm getting bombard or cannon emplacement here. I keep calling it bombard emplacement. It's a cannon emplacement. And now this is a lot of units. Now obviously, you know, this guy was Conquer 3, so he had a crap ton of units. If you play, you know, whatever league you're playing in, they're probably going to have a lot less units than this guy. So right now, you can see the tower's upgraded. I'm getting bombard emplacement on this one, getting bombard emplacement on this one. I already have a relic inside. He tries to destroy this. Emergency repair just to save it. Do a little bit of trading. I'm producing spearmen as much as I possibly can. And because I have all the towers garrisoned and I'm waiting for cannon emplacements, all I need to do is just buy some time. And if you hit Imperial with HRE, even if you lose some villagers, it honestly doesn't matter because you're going to be able to replenish them so fast that it kind of becomes irrelevant that you're losing them, right? And you can see all these spearmen are slowly dying. Bombard emplacements are finishing. This one finished here, and it's like absolutely destroying units. I'm getting bombard emplacement or cannon emplacement here. I'm gonna put a relic, and he has no units left. 7 workers killed only, which is not enough because again I have Swabia. Now I'm gonna get all my workers out, rally onto the wood, mass transition to farm, and then you just go kind of zug across the map and kill him. So this is like perfect castle into Imperial Rush while making almost minimum amount of units, right? I only made like 3-4 knights and 3-4 horsemen, and then few spears into age up, right? That's kind of perfect case scenario, the way you want to play. Sometimes if you do this Imperial Rush, you will die, but the Imperial Rush is very much viable because I do it all the time. You just need to figure out what you're doing wrong and try to, you know, not die as you're rushing for it. This game I'm going to show you is we're going to skip through the initial part. Sometimes you will have to adjust, by the way, as HRE when you're doing this build. Sometimes you will not find as many sheep. So last game I found a lot of sheep. So yeah, it was fine. This game I did not find as many, so I went farms pretty early, which you will see. And in this game I got a chapel in a pretty nice spawn, so it's kind of like semi-forward. I mean, it's on the side, right? Which obviously I'm not going to make it here because there's nothing here, but this is a pretty good chapel still. And when you get the chapel like this, where you don't need a lumber camp, you just save 50 wood, which is, you know, it's pretty nice. So I'm aging up again with 4, and you can see I put my prelate just outside of range. So the range is like here. I put him just outside of range so he doesn't inspire these guys. Make sure you're not building any houses, by the way, in the area where you're going to be building the chapel. So if your chapel is here, don't put a house here and then mining camp, right? Make sure that you kind of have some kind of plan. So same thing here. I had a brain delay, but usually you want to send them a bit earlier. And I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to chop the wood. Just chop all the wood around the TC and just make sure I have wood for whatever I needed. Now this game, my scout is still scouting, okay. In a little bit, I'm going to find out that he is going second town center. So I'm already making a tower, just like the last game. I don't need a tower on this side because I'm not protecting anything here. I'm just getting it on this so that my woodland is more protected. I'm getting the stone for the upgrade. So at this point, I did not know he's going second PC. I ran out of sheep. My scout is coming. I made 2 little farms right here. I'm chopping some wood. I got 5 because I wasn't sure what he's doing, right? And right here, I see that he has stone mines. So this is a second town center. So what I do is instead of having 5, 6 on wood right now, I have only 3, and I'm putting everything on sheep, and I'm building farms as well. So I'm being a little greedy. You don't want to build farms this early, but I decided to just use excess wood for that, so I can kind of get a lot of food in the long run, right? So I don't have to go out on the map this game at all. That was kind of the plan. So every time I have a little bit of extra wood, you know, I make a house if I need it, or just more farms. So when you do playstyle like this, you will basically not need to risk going on the map and, you know, risk harassment or something like that, but it will slow down your age up a little bit. So I'm aging up once again with 10. I'm trying to keep Scout active. I'm trying to scout if he has stables, if he has anything else. And this game, like I said, is an example when the opponent goes pretty passive and kind of lets you do whatever you want. And you can see I'm just making a barracks now because I saw the stable. And I'm going to be going and yoinking the relics. My scout just saw the stable, I think. Making another barracks. And just going to be vacuuming the relics a little bit. Here I went on the mill because I wanted to get the upgrade wheelbarrow. And I wanted to get these berries before he starts massing units. Because once he starts massing units, I won't be able to get the berries. So I just wanted to get them now rather than later. But then the night comes and take W. But in the end I do manage to go on that. I start making spearmen. I already have 3 relics, by the way, 4 relics actually, which is really good. The last relic is behind his base, so that's not happening. So what am I trying to do now? Well, whenever you rush castle, opponent will have 2 choices. To either all-in you or as HRE, right? The opponent will either all-in you if you're rushing castle, or they will go like second TC or castle rush themselves. Which to you, that's the same thing. If they go castle rush or 2 TC, you're getting a free age up in a way. So, right now, what I was trying to scout earlier, if he's making more production buildings. Because if he's not making more production buildings, and I saw that he is not, that means that he is going to be also aging up, aka rushing castle. Now what this does is give me the freedom to now rush Imperial even faster, so I can skip more units. So right now I'm making some spearmen, I'm getting the veteran upgrade, but you can see I'm already going stone to slowly prepare for the cannon emplacements, and I'm getting the eco upgrades. I think these are level 1s even, yeah. So I'm trying to capture satyr sons, I'm trying to poke. And you can see I'm slowly building up food count to go fast imp. And I'm already getting stone as well. So, same thing. Look at this. Towers are coming up. Tower and tower here. So you want to make a triangle around your TC and a chapel. Little Svabia right here. Aging up with 19. Villagers on stone still chopping or mining. He comes here and again, the opponent is just a little bit too late. The Imperial is off. Now, I think I did end up going on these berries a little bit because I did not have enough farms. I'm putting the relics into the towers. And right now, once I get the cannon emplacements, I'm getting one right here. I got one right here. I'm getting more farms. Getting cannon emplacement here. And right now, I'm completely safe. So in order for him to break this, he would need to go trebuchet or rams. In which case, you can just make a siege workshop and make a cauldron and you're chilling, right? You have also emergency repairs, your towers have extra HP because of the relic. Look at that. Or take reduced damage, whatever. So, look at that cannon emplacement range. That's wild with the relic. So what I'm doing now is I'm rallying Svabia to the woodline first until I have about 20 plus workers so I can transition to farms. And then I'm rallying onto the gold to get other upgrades. He also rushes Imperial thinking that, oh, he's just gonna make, you know, Streltsy or whatever, because that's pretty good counter to HRE. But the whole game, my boom has been way better and way stronger. The worker count might seem same, but remember I also have 4 relics and I have chapel as well. He has no farms yet. Like, this is me transition to farms with 4 relics under a chapel versus 1 relic, a budget relic, and no farms whatsoever, right? And I'm gonna overtake him in workers as well. I'm making more production, I'm getting all the upgrades. If you're massing Spearman Man-at-Arm, getting Elite Army Tactics is very important because not only gives you health, but it gives you 20% damage as well to your units, which is very strong. I even went double Blacksmith because I had so many resources, so I was like, might as well. And this game, if you look, not much has happened, but you can see the difference in supply, the difference in what's it called? The difference in eco, and I just throw down a keep, and from now on, making a bombard because I just want to push through it and win. Because I know I have enough experience with HRE to know that at this point, if I just start making units and I aim move across the map, the opponent cannot hold. So he's got 16 Streltsy, but these spearmen are elite spearmen with ranged upgrades, with melee upgrades, with elite army tactics, and if you didn't know, 56 spearmen here will kill Streltsy and a Mangonel and a Kremlin as well. So that's it. And now that this is the thing about HRE, now the pumping just doesn't stop because my economy is 2.4k food a minute versus 700. So now you're just rallying and you completely overwhelm your opponent. I mean, there it is, brother. Yeah. Why spears? Because he had crossbows. So making men-at-arms into crossbows would be a pretty dented choice. And spearmen with elite army tactics are pretty good, actually. Pretty good. And they're very cheap. They're basically just food and little wood, right? And I used my gold for other stuff. YouTube gamers, I hope you enjoyed the HRE How to Castle Rush guide. I have finally updated. I think I haven't updated in like 3 seasons, which is probably like close to a year now. So I hope you learned something new. Another thing, if you are playing against an aggressive Civ, you can also get eco upgrades in Feudal, which will delay your age up by about a minute and a half, but you will have better eco going into Castle. So that's kind of something for you to figure out. I would suggest you watch my games on, there's a Twitch Finder on AOE4 World website where you can go there and you can, press HRE and then sort by rating or something like that. You can find my games there and you can watch them. It's gonna lead you straight to the VOD when I played them, and if you need any help, you can just search there or find me on YouTube or on Twitch and ask some questions there. Check me out on Twitch. That being said, thank you for watching. Have a great day, Twitch gamers. Let's keep going.